Hey, if you're an entrepreneur, watch this video because I'm going to break down how to build an actual company. Most entrepreneurs don't even know what an actual company looks like. They know that they have a business, they know they have customers, they know they have employees, but how do you structure your team of employees? Watch this video and I'm going to scientifically break it down for you. And why should you listen to me? I have almost 20 years of building teams for myself and other people. I have an outsourcing company called Sala Staffing. We help people build remote teams by hiring talent from all over the world and putting them to work for small and medium-sized enterprises. Every single day for the last almost 20 years, I have been working with businesses that are transitioning from startup to small business to medium-sized enterprise to large corporations, and large corporations that are about to be acquired by big conglomerate corporations. If you want to know how to build an actual company, watch this video.
All right, so let's jump right into this. This is an infographic that I use to teach in my masterminds with my mentees, with the people that I consult with. But this is what I've found over almost 20 years of actually building companies for myself and others. This is a lot of foundational knowledge. I'm going to spend about a good 3 to 5 minutes really giving you some strong foundations about what we're about to talk about today. So this is a company pyramid. A lot of you guys have seen something similar to this. I'm going to break this down for you. Just for the record, this is a bonus episode from a 5-part series that I've done on each one of these levels. So frontline staff, mid-level management, senior management, executive management, and the board of advisors. I've done a deep dive about 25 to 30 minutes of each one of these. So make sure you go check out that video. It's on my YouTube. It's linked to this on the same playlist. But let's jump into this. So your frontline staff, these are the people who handle the execution, the day-to-day stuff. These are people who think hour to hour, minute to minute, day to day. Your mid-level management, these are people who supervise your frontline staff, and they think day to day, hour to hour, maybe week to week, depending on the business or however many people you have. Then we get to senior management. Senior management typically thinks week to week, or month to month, and sometimes quarter to quarter. People at the executive level, these guys think month to month, quarter to quarter, and year to year. Some of them think decade to decade. And then we get to the board of advisors. These people think yearly. They also think quarterly, and they think decade to decade, or in terms of 3 to 5 years. So, that's how every company is built out. Now, we got a couple of other infographics that we're going to go over on the team structure. We're not going to jump into this right now, what a company department looks like and what a leadership team looks like. But before we get into any of that, I want to share with you this concept that when I first heard it, it blew my mind. And this is from a book called Traction. You want to go look it up. It's an awesome book. Go read it. It's really advanced. Most even sophisticated entrepreneurs that I know, they don't even implement half of this stuff, or even a 5% of this stuff, maybe even 3%. But if you add like 1 or 2% of the stuff that's in this book, the book is by Gino. It's either Gino like that. I'm not sure if it's with the E or an I. Gino Wickman, help me out in the comments, somebody. But yeah, Gino Wickman, great book. It's with an I. This is the book, Gino Wickman. I'll link it in the comments so you can go pick it up on Amazon. So that book taught me that every single business, 100% of businesses have 3 and only 3 functions. That's marketing, operations, and finance. No matter what you do, no matter what kind of company you have, it will always be marketing, operations, and finance. If you have a lemonade stand, you have marketing. You have to get people to come and stop. You have to, wave down, have a cute little kid. Hey, mister. Hey, ma'am, do you want to get some lemonade? That's your marketing. That's your sales. Then you have your operations, actually giving the lemonade. And then you have your finance. You have to buy the material. You have to sell it for a profit. And you have to do the bookkeeping, the accounting. Hopefully these kids are paying taxes. Hopefully these kids have a permit and stuff like that. So that's what every business has. Same thing with Walmart, Uber, Apple. Every single business has these 3 functions. I'm spending a little bit more time here because this is very simple. You might be, oh yeah, duh, Frank. Think about your business. What is the marketing in your business? What is the operations in your business? And what is the finance in your business? The reason this is important is because most people and most entrepreneurs, they're aware of this. Like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Duh, welcome to business 101. Okay, if it's so simple, then why don't you have teams around this? Why don't you have a marketing team? Why don't you have an operations team? Why don't you have a finance team? Most businesses, especially if you're in the small or medium-sized enterprise, in my almost 20 years of experience of consulting with them, hiring for them, building companies for them, most of them, they don't think like this. They have maybe one senior person, maybe two senior person, and they're the CMO, the COO, and the CFO, and the CEO. And they hire one senior person, they pay them 150 grand or 175,000. Say, okay, you run my business now, and they have a lot of problems. And that person ends up getting burnt out. They quit. That's a very common thread. And most entrepreneurs will literally go their entire career of 20 or 40 years, sometimes more, of just operating a business like that. They have a bunch of frontline staff. So going back to the original thing, they have a bunch of frontline staff here. They don't have any middle management. They don't have any senior management. They have one executive. That's probably really awesome. And this one executive, we remove the senior management. We remove the middle management. This one senior executive will run this entire frontline staff in the marketing and the operations and the finance. They'll do that, and they'll say, oh, okay, yeah, that's how I build a successful business. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen in my almost 20 years of building and scaling companies is that they lack these people, and they only have one of these people. And because in their mind, as a small and medium-sized enterprise, well, 150,000, that's a lot of salary. No, it's not. Go to Apple, go to Uber, go to Microsoft, go to Verizon. They pay their guys 300 grand, 200 grand. 400 grand, 600 grand, and they pay 10 different executives to have this structure, and that's why they're worth billions of dollars, and that's why they have a big business, and that's why you have a small business. So again, these are best practices, and I want to share with you a little bit more into that. So we talked about the 3 key functions of every business: the marketing, the operations, and the finance. So as I mentioned, most companies, they'll hire maybe a COO, a chief operations officer. They don't have a chief marketing officer. They don't have a chief finance officer. Maybe they act as a CEO. So it's them, the founder, and then one senior level person. Maybe they're an executive, and there's no senior leaders. Look at all these senior leaders. There's no senior leaders. And this is what the frontline staff looks like. There's no team leader at the frontline staff. There's a bunch of specialists. Then there's a chief operations manager or the one executive in the team and the CEO. And that's it. And you have a bunch of chaos. All right. So just to be clear, this is how most companies operate. And I'm showing you what not to do first because you're probably doing this right now. And we can fix these bad habits because this is all this is a bad habit. So most companies have this. Let's use this program. So most companies have the CEO or the founder. That's you. They have one senior manager. It's typically a senior manager. It's very rarely like a real executive. It's a senior manager that's probably really awesome, but they just get promoted to an executive because there's nobody else on the company that does that. So they have the CEO, the executive, and then they have frontline staff. That's it. That's what most companies do. That's literally what most companies do. Here is what successful companies do, big actual businesses. So most companies, they have an executive. The executive has senior managers. There's 5 of them. By the way, every team is made up of 4 to 6 people. This is something that I learned from the United States Navy SEALs. The United States Navy SEALs, these are the most effective human organizations, human teams in human history. There's no other teams that are more effective than the United States Navy SEALs. From an efficiency and operations aspect, they're extremely efficient. The United States Navy SEALs. And they, not me, when they go to war, when they go on a mission, when they build their entire U.S. Navy SEALs battalions, and I don't know if they're an army or if they're a armada, whatever their battalion is, whatever their squad is, they build teams like this. No matter which way you slice it, they have teams and 4 to 6 people. So don't even look at these people at the bottom. Don't look at the blue. Let's just look at the red right now. There you go. So this is a small team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 senior managers and 1 executive. So this executive never, I repeat again for clarity, never talks to the frontline staff. Never. This senior executive, their job is to manage these senior managers. This guy's got 20, 30, 40 years of experience. These people have 10, 7, 15 years of experience. The stuff that these guys talk about, these guys here, they have no idea what you're talking about. They just say, oh, yes, sir. Don't fire me. Yep. Anything you say. Yep. You got it. I'm with you 100%. I totally get you. You're such a great boss. You're such an amazing person. Wow, I'm so blessed to work with you. That's how they talk. These guys will have arguments and nearly get into fistfights about how things should be done based on their experiences. This person is going to mentor each one of these so that eventually they can be an executive, ideally within the company. But if there's no opportunity, these people bounce out and they move on. So that's up to you as a founder to build that career path for that organization. So let's go over here again. So this is what successful companies have. They have an executive, they have senior managers. Each one of these senior managers. So let's focus in on just this guy or gal. This one person here, guess what they do? They have a team of mid-level managers. So this one person here, just this one person, has a team of mid-level managers. So ignore these people. Ignore this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Ignore everybody here. We're just looking at this person right here, and then this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. This is a senior manager with a mid-level team. It's literally the same thing. It's literally this. Take this, but remove executive, put this senior manager here, and take all of these mid-level managers and put them up here. It's literally the exact same thing. And that's the team structure. That's how all teams are built. 4 to 6 people. Here's the specialist. Here's the team leader. Is this making sense for you? Is this making sense for you? So now the senior manager who has, 7 to 15 years of experience, now they're working with the mid-level managers. The mid-level managers might have 3 to 7 years of experience. Now this person is mentoring this person, and it's a different level of communication. This person might talk to these people, but very rarely. So then we go another step. Now we have the mid-level managers. Remember, just so you have a refresher, the mid-level managers, their job is to supervise the frontline staff. The frontline staff is to actually do whatever it is that you do. So right in here, these mid-level managers, each one of them, as you can see, has 5 people underneath them. Right there. Mid-level manager, 5 frontline staff, entry-level people. That's one team. Because that's a team structure, a team leader and the specialist. That's what they have. So this person manages these people. 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 And that's one company. Now going back here, that's the operations. Then we have the finance. Then we have the marketing. That's how to actually build the team. They're like little Lego blocks. And where I see most entrepreneurs and most founders, they don't have any senior management. They don't have any mid-level management. They have themselves, the CEO, the founder, and they have a bunch of frontline staff, and maybe they have a senior manager or a mid-level manager acting as an executive. And they're like, I've got a company, man. I've got a business. Look at me. I'm so successful. But in reality, most entrepreneurs, I'm talking like 99.9% of entrepreneurs, they're buying watches, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. And every time I see this is just me personally, I talk to them and I get to know them. We have cigars, we have some wine, we start talking, and I'm like, okay, you're a cool guy. Yeah, tell me about your team. Who's the most impactful? This is how I find out if someone is playing the game at a big level. I ask them this one question. Who is the most impactful employee on your staff? And 99.9% of entrepreneurs are going to say somebody in the frontline staff. They're going to say, man, I got a sales guy, or one of my graphic designers, or I got a videographer, or man, I got this customer service person. 99.9% of people are going to say that. I very rarely hear somebody say, oh man, my COO is phenomenal. My CFO is phenomenal. Very rarely do I hear them say, oh, my project manager is my lifesaver. My senior project manager is my lifesaver. I very rarely hear that. Now, when I hear that, I'm like, all right, cool. I got you. I know where you're at now. Okay. I see where you're playing. But if anybody tells me this, I'm like, okay, this person has a business. They're making a little bit of money. And instead of taking the money and then hiring these people and building an actual business, they're just renting Lambos, G-Wagons, trips, this and that. Their lifestyle costs is really, and this is fine, by the way. This is totally fine. I'm talking business. I'm talking nuts and bolts here. If that makes you happy, totally cool. My philosophy when it comes to a business is every business should run without the founder, or have very minimal engagement from the founder, because some of us start businesses because we like being in that business. So, and that's the cool thing about life, that's the cool thing about business, is you can build whatever kind of business that you like. Here's a second question to ask them. Yeah, tell me about your board. What? What do you mean a board? What's a board? Oh yeah, well, oh no, we were not there yet. Oh, okay, cool, 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 cool. It's really easy to get a board. You can actually build a board on a budget. If you check out my series, I show you at the end of that video, if you watch it all the way through, how to build a board of advisors with that. So this is what I wanted to just quickly come on here and share with you and break this down with you, because a lot of entrepreneurs, I'm coming from the gym right now, and I met an entrepreneur. He was a real cool guy, and we're here in a place, we're here in Dubai actually. So, people here are real successful, allegedly, and there's different levels of success. There's different things. For me, as a serial entrepreneur, I don't know anything else. I've never had a job. I've always signed the checks on the front. I've never had to sign the check on the back. When it comes to like a salary, I pay myself a salary, and it's really, for me, a fun game to play. And I like to see what other people do, and I like to see how they operate. And when people come to me, they're very disorganized, and they might not have all of these necessary structures inside of their business. They might not have an actual company department. So for example, most people's company's department, they'll have one executive, no senior managers, no mid-level managers, and they'll have all these team of frontline staff. And these team of frontline staff, they're asking this executive like basic questions. Imagine if you were an algebra teacher and you had people asking you subtraction and addition questions every single day. You'd get burnt out. These people, they're there 6 to 18 months, and guess what they're doing after the third month? Man, these guys don't got it going on. These guys, this ain't a real company, man. I cannot build a career here. I'm gonna shop my resume around. I'm talking real right now. I'm talking from this executive's perspective. I'm gonna shop my resume around until I get a better offer. For now, it's cool. I'm going to use this company, your company, I'm going to use that as a parking lot for my career. So for the next 6 to 18 months, you're financing their lifestyle and their job search, because they're working for you. They're not really focused, and they're looking for another job. As soon as they get another job with more money, when they're asking in that interview, they're okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about the team? Because when I came on this last company, they said, oh yeah, we're a growing company. We're a real business. And I got there, and there's no senior managers. There's no mid-level managers. I'm an algebra professor, and I'm having kindergarteners ask me subtraction and addition questions. I don't want to deal with that. That makes my life miserable. I don't have the most amount of impact that I feel like that I can have. I don't feel like I'm valued at the organization. Oh, and by the way, I'm the only executive at the company. So instead of having this person, and whatever other executives you might need in the organization, I'm doing 5 other people's jobs, and I'm not getting paid for it. I'm having to answer my phone before work, after work, on the weekends. I'm the only person that has problems. And yeah, the CEO pays me all right, but I want something else. I'm looking for something different. There's no senior leaders to support me. I've got to implement everything. There's no project manager. There's no operations supervisor. There's no operations manager. And I've got to do everything. This is what people think about. The biggest part of building a scalable company is actually having employee retention. Having people in your company for years is a superpower. Now, in today's economy, in today's job market, let's be real. Most people, they stay at a company for 2 to 4 years. Another mistake that I hear from entrepreneurs, and a red flag that I hear all the time, is, oh man, this is Julia. Julia's been with me forever. She's never going to leave. I'm like, she finna leave. She finna leave. Something's gonna happen. She might get pregnant. She might meet a man who's super rich and never have to work again. She get a better offer. You cuss her out one day. One of your employees or one of your competitors steals her. It's game over. Don't ever come into a company thinking, oh, I own people. You don't own people, bro. What century you live in where you own people? You don't own nobody. Most employees, and this is just a fact in today's job market, in 2025 and moving forward, most employees don't stay at a company for longer than 2 to 4 years. Now, you can have them stay in the company if you build career paths for them. If you find a way for them to go from frontline staff all the way to an executive one day. It's not going to happen overnight, but if they're seeing steady progression and they're like, okay, I'm liking where this company's headed, I'm liking the other support players that are on here, let me actually work with this organization. So, just to recap, every business has marketing, operations, and finance. Most companies have the founder or the CEO, one senior manager or fake executive. Because I say fake executive because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, here's my COO, my chief operations officer. I'm like, hey, cool. What kind of certifications do you have? Nothing. Okay. Most COOs have a Lean Six Sigma certification, or maybe they have a PMP, Project Manager Pro certification. All right, tell me about your work experience. Yeah, I ran a pizza shop, or I was running a tanning salon, and I did sales for AT&T. All right, how does that make you qualified to run this business? What's going on there? So just because somebody tells you that they have a senior executive person in the organization, don't believe them. Like, ask questions, understand that person, and you as a founder, when you start to interview people, when you start to get to the point where you need to bring these people on, this is how you need to be thinking in order to build a structured organization. And then finally, they have the frontline staff. We have kindergarteners asking subtraction and addition questions to professors who are teaching algebra. And they're like, man, I can't do it. And this person's going to leave, and they're using your company as a parking lot until they find a better offer. Whereas a real company, they have all of these parts. They have the frontline staff that handles the execution, that works day to day. They have the mid-level staff that supervises the frontline staff. They have the senior managers who coaches, trains, and develops these mid-level managers so that they can one day become senior managers. And then we have the executives who come with leadership, strategy, and they coach these senior managers so that they could one day be executives, because now we have that career path inside your organization. And now your organization starts to build company culture. And now with company cultures, you can start to outwork, out hustle, outperform your competitors, and everyone's on the same page, and everybody has the same standards, and everybody speaks the same communications. This is what Apple did, when Steve Jobs was really involved, because he brought a lot of that culture. Now they're in a different place, but they were a startup that grew to a mega conglomerate international organization. And then finally, you have your board of advisors who share their expertise, their strategy, their network, and their experience. This is what a full company looks like. If you think that, oh man, my business, I got a great business, man, dude. If you don't have all five of these, you don't have a business, dude. You own a job. I'm going to say that again. If you don't have all of these five things, you do not own a business. You own a job. You're one person sending one email away saying, I'm putting in my resignation. If that one senior person in your organization that manages these people leaves, guess who's got to do that job? You. Now you got to do that job because you don't got a business. You own a job. So your job, your mission as a founder is to build a complete business where you have other executives that don't include you inside of your organization right in here at the very top, helping you with leadership and strategy. You can be involved. You can be an executive. That's perfectly fine. I'm an executive at my companies. I love what I do. I think it's awesome. I'm really involved in the things that I need to be involved in. I'm not involved in sending an invoice. I'm not involved in checking someone's application for our recruiting firm. I am involved in consulting with our clients and saying, hey, what's your business like? Okay, what's your core deliverables? Who's on your team right now? Let's map out your next 10 hires. All right, tell me about your KPIs. You don't have KPIs? Okay, why don't you have KPIs? Oh, you don't have an operations manager? Oh, that makes total sense. Do you have an operations supervisor? No, you don't have an operations supervisor. Okay, so who's managing these people? Oh, you're managing these people. Oh, that makes total sense why you're having this problem. Okay, perfect. Here, let's put a plan in action to get that settled. So, everything that I'm sharing with you, these are Lego blocks. You can build this however you want. But if you are thinking to yourself, I've got a company, and you don't have all five of these people or all five of these parts, frontline staff, mid-level management, senior management, executive, board advisors, there is absolutely no way that any private equity firm would ever come to you and say, here's some money, I want to buy this company. That would never happen. Would never happen. You might sell another entrepreneur on this. Oh yeah, because they'll take your place and they'll buy a job from you, or maybe they'll do that and then add it to their. Maybe they have a company and you have some parts that they're wanting, and they'll buy it from you, but they're not going to give you a high multiplier. They're going to say, dude, nah, man, you want a 3x multiplier? bro, I'll give you a half X multiplier. This is a lot of work, man. This is a fixer upper. And then you're sitting there, but I spent all my life building this, or I spent the last 5 years building this. Look my profit. Yo, that profit's there because you're there. I'm not buying you. What century do you live in where you can buy people like that? I'm not buying you, bro. I'm buying a business. Investors, private equity firms, they want to buy a business in a box, an operations manual, a team to run that operations manual. They want to buy that. So I want to share this with you because a lot of people have this confused. And I make these videos, by the way, for me, back when I first got started in the entrepreneurship game, way before YouTube, I had to learn with my own money. I used to literally get on my hands and knees and say, please send me a mentor. Please send me somebody to lead me, guide me, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I grew up on a ranch in Mexico, dude. I have no idea what I was doing back in that time. I've taken the last almost 20 years with my own money and hiring coaches and consultants and being on board of advisors and board of directors and having people like that inside of my organization to learn all this stuff. And I just want to share this with you. If you found value in this video, make sure you comment with your biggest takeaway. Because that really motivates me to make more of these videos. You know, I could be doing a lot of cool stuff right now. Got other things to do. My staff comes on in about an hour, so we're about to get going crazy. And yeah, I just wanted to share this video with you because I met a guy at the gym. He was a cool dude, but as we were chopping it up, I'm like, man, this guy is delusional, you know, and he's a great guy, by the way. Shout out to you if you're watching, man. He's delusional though. He was telling me, yeah, I own this company and I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna get this, and I'm asking him because I have buyers in my network that would probably buy his business. But the more he told me about his business, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, no man, that ain't nobody gonna buy that. You ain't what you think you have. That asset you think you have is not an asset. It's a job. It's a job. So check out my other videos. Remember, this is like a bonus episode from my other YouTube series. Make sure you go check that out. Yeah, and here's the series. Look me up on YouTube, Frank Salas. You're already watching me on YouTube now, probably. And look for this, The Anatomy of $1 Million Team. Go look that up because this is the bonus episode of that. Everything that I just shared with you right now, every one of these little parts, I literally did an episode on this, the frontline staff, the mid-level management, the senior management, the executive, the board of advisors. And I'm here to help you. If you are building a scalable company, if you already have a product market fit, I have an outsourcing company. I help people build teams just like this. We hire people from all over the world, Latin America, the Caribbean, Africa, Eastern Europe, Asia, and we help you build scalable teams without sacrificing your profit margins. So the people that we have are 60 to 90% less the cost of hiring in Western countries. So if you're an entrepreneur in the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and you are paying payroll taxes, I'd probably save you a couple $1 million a year if you have a decent sized company. If you're not there just yet and you're trying to figure it out, I am available for business consulting. If you have a company as well, I am available to be on your board of advisors. Follow me everywhere on social media at Talented Mr. Salas. It has been my pleasure sharing this knowledge with you. And yeah, man, let me know if you like the video. If you hate the video, let me know you hate the video. See ya.